Everybody, we are back. It is Taped on Live's favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course pandasubs.com. Discount code TDL for 25% off. All right, so today we're just going back to normal film review. Kind of done with the draft here, so we're gonna be looking at I'm doing Brock Bowers and Matt's doing Adam Butler. So yeah, we're gonna be looking at those guys and checking them out and seeing what we can do and what they can get better at. I'm mostly just looking at Brock Bowers lined up outside, so see what that's gonna be like. I mean, because that might be happening more often in this offense. So I'm
Brock Bowers, the X receiver.
Yeah, exactly. So that might be happening, especially if they run a lot of 12 personnel with Michael Mayer and stuff like that. It could be an option. And then, of course, they got the DT problem with Christian Wilkins. So we are going to be deep diving into Adam Butler. All right. So Matt's making sure to have his hands tied behind his back this time, guys. He's got his hands tied behind his back.
I was telling Marcus, I gotta get my manners on point, keep my elbows off the table and stuff like that. Make sure.
Yeah, man, you gotta sit straight up, bro. Put your hands down, and can't touch a damn thing. Oh man, that's funny. All right, but in all seriousness, only Raiders news we got is AJ Cole. Raiders. One thing Raiders can't do. My friend Chris, he's a Packers fan. He gets to have quarterbacks back to back. We get to have punters. Punters are back to back. Legends. Where we go from Shane Leckler to AJ Cole, Ray Guy,
Marquette King.
Yeah, right.
Marquette King. Net punt, screws his own net punt average by getting 15-yard penalties, but could boom it.
Yeah. Raiders punt factory. That's what I say. We're a punt factory over here, guys. We get the punters. That's what we get. And AJ Cole, I mean, he's got like $4 million a year. He's the highest paid punter in the league, isn't he?
I think it's $5 million, isn't it? Or is it? Yeah. Was it? Maybe you're right. Maybe it was $4 million. Was it 4.16?
Yeah, 4 and 16.
Okay, so yeah, $4 million a year. Yeah, I mean, my take on that is now you don't have to worry about the position you hope never plays a snap in the game. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I guess when AJ Cole he does he holds on the PAT and field goal attempts, but that's the only time we want to see him on the field. So yeah, at least you get to secure that guy. At least you know you don't have to worry about the punter at the end of the day. Because he's now under contract for 5 more years, I think, with this one.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Also, I mean, he got 11 million guaranteed.
It's not bad.
Basically, off like 3 years are guaranteed, basically.
Yeah.
So, he's here for the next 3 seasons at least, and probably even longer than that since it's an extension. But yeah, I mean, he's a great punter. So I mean, what's to complain about? I can't complain like, oh, that's a bad contract. He deserves it. Dude kicks like 60-yard punts all the damn time. You know what I mean? And he has a good personality. So
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's my favorite part is that he seems like a dude that like you'd want to have a beer with because he's super self-aware. What was he at the Pro Bowl? He's like, dude, this has been the best game ever. I've had like 2 hot dogs. I haven't played on the field once. I haven't even gotten hit. Like, yeah. I like AJ Cole. At least if you're gonna be a punter, like you got to have a personality. You know what I mean? You gotta be a good locker room guy, and I think that's probably what made him the highest paid. He might not be the best punter in the league, but funny enough that you got to at least make sure he sticks around in the locker room, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. So I mean that's the thing with the punters. It works out. It works out for me because I mean he's a great punter. Sure, like I guess, man. You know what I mean? Like we don't want you on the field that much. But when you are, we definitely know you can flip the field. So I mean, that's the great thing about AJ Cole, man. I mean, he is a good punter, and if you are a good offense and you have a defense that Pete Carroll likes to run, where he wants teams to go all the way down the field and score touchdowns in the red zone, it fits, man. It works. So yeah. Not much to talk about other than that, man. I mean, nothing else. Great.
We've talked about punters enough.
This is not a special teams show, but I mean, we do like special teams here. I mean, you know, we appreciate it because we're football guys. But yeah. Nobody wants to watch the punter film. You do, me and Matt are not doing punter breakdowns. You know what I mean?
No, you just go look at the hang times and the net yards. That's all you need to know.
Exactly. You're not gonna get a breakdown of like you see how he perfectly just dropped exactly where he drops the ball where he needs to. You're not gonna get that. So you know what I mean? All right. We're gonna be doing Brock Bowers and Adam Butler. So, what are you looking at today with Adam Butler, Matt?
Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to highlight like just a couple of his better games from last season. One was the season opener against the Chargers, and then the other was what was it, week 14, 15, against the Falcons, that Monday Night Football game that was painful to watch, but it was a good one defensively, at least to break down. But one of the things, we talked about Christian Wilkins last week and how he's kind of uncertain to start the season and maybe might miss some time in training camp. Well, now that makes your best defensive tackle on the roster Adam Butler. So I figured relevant kind of look at what he did last season, because I thought he had like probably the best year of his career last season, which was just a shock. Senior 7-year guy, something like that.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that he really like stood out to me is he kind of became like a complete player. Like he ended up getting 16 starts, and it's because he improved so much against the run. And there wasn't a drop off in him as a pass rusher. I think he might have had fewer sacks, but like he was still doing the same thing and things where he was winning one-on-one and setting guys up really well on stunts. Like we'll see probably, I think I got like 4 or 5 stunts here where he just does a great job of being the pick player and does a good job as the looper too, to kind of clean things up in that regard too. But again, the thing that really stood out to me this past season was how much he got better against the run and just really did that area of his game. And I think that's why he got the contract he got in the offseason, and why has become a starter, which is pretty rare for a guy that's in his 30s and this late in his career to see him make a jump like that. So props to him. And I don't even think I did him during the season because there was just something that never worked out that way. So I was like, all right, I might as well give him now and look at these couple of games that he had that were really impressive.
All right, yeah. Butler improved a lot last year, so definitely earned that contract. Probably his first big, more than a 1-year contract, probably since he was like a rookie.
Yeah,
but he was undrafted free agent, so I mean, even then, you know what I mean. It wasn't something that he was gonna get a lot of money in the league, and finally it paid off for him at the age of 30. He's 31. He just turned 31. Yeah, so
gotcha. Yeah, probably the first time he saw 8 digits on a contract.
Yeah, it's the same birthday as my daughter.
So. Oh, okay. Nice.
There you go. All right, Adam Butler. All right. So the guy I did a bunch of times during the season, Brock Bowers. I was just watching him this week and kind of getting into his game, but I wanted to focus more on him playing outside. And that's where I wanted to look at. Just see maybe like what if you want to play him out there, is there something he's got to get better at? Because in the slot, he's fine. I mean, he's all right. There's nothing really crazy to get down with. But, even from outside, when he's lined up outside, he's facing corners. I think there's still some more nuances to the route running he's got to get a little bit better at. So that's going to be the growth of Brock Bowers. And it's crazy I said that with his 117 catches or whatever the hell he had last year, that I said there's something to get better at. But it is. I mean, because if you want him to become that full-on Travis Kelce weapon, you know what I mean? He's got to, be able to beat some of these corners. Like I'll show a couple clips of Patrick Surtain Jr. That he kind of struggled with. That I think I definitely probably covered in the season. But it's going to be something where you're probably going to see some growth from him that you're not expecting, and I think it's going to be becoming a more cleaner route runner outside. Because in the slot, I mean, he's fine. I mean, I'm not going to get too much into that. But I think outside, where he's like that guy, he's facing the cornerback, that's what he's got to kind of work on. And it's interesting. I talked about it like when he came out, but when I went back through like his film, I think just him making catches in contested areas is something that he needs to get better at too a little bit. So people are like, yo, you can't knock Brock Bowers. I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying, like, there's a couple things, nothing wrong with that, but and of course I am nitpicking, but you know what I'm saying. But it's this is the point of the show. I mean, we're nitpickers, so you know what I mean.
He's now. I'm not gonna say that one that fast, but yeah, I think you're right. Like that's one of the things. Like if Bowers wants to become if Bowers is gonna take his game to the next level, and I know he's already like an elite player and whatnot, and prove himself as one of the better tight ends. Like I think him being able to beat guys like Pat Surtain will kind of put him in that upper echelon of like just flat out freaks in the NFL. Because that's I think the one thing that was kind of the Achilles heel last year with him is like once teams started putting their top corners on him, which is very rare for a tight end. then you kind of erased him and took him out of the offense. And hopefully the Raiders can have another receiver kind of step up. Maybe like the guys Jack Bench, maybe Trey Tucker, in addition to Jacoby Myers, to take some of that pressure off of him. But I think that's where, when we're looking at Bauer specifically, where he can kind of improve. And I think you nailed it too with the contested catches. That's one of the things that I was a little bit shaky on him coming out of Georgia too. And again, it's getting in the nitpicking category, but you honestly, like, as a player, you want to get nitpicked because that means you're doing so much right that we got to find something that you're doing wrong. And obviously Charlie's trying to get better too. So I think that's I'm interested to see your breakdown of both those things, just because that's kind of where he can become this truly like just unstoppable, unguardable type of dude if he can start beating the elite corners of the world, and then on top of it too, being a threat in contested catches. So I mean, Pat Surtain is the reigning defensive player of the year, so it's not like a knock on him to be not knock on Bowers to be like, yeah, you didn't beat that guy. Not a lot of guys did. Not a lot of wide receivers beat Pat Surtain last year.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. All right, let's get into some Adam Butler, man. Let's check him out. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna start with where I thought Butler improved the most, which is against the run. And I think one of the biggest things is he just seemed like he got a lot stronger at the point of attack. Like, you're gonna see this clip here against Rashawn Slater, who's a pretty damn strong offensive tackle. You've probably seen the clip of him front squatting like 600 pounds or whatever it was. But Butler does a great job of just controlling the block. Now, he worries me a little bit here because, like, you can see like where he's aligned pre-snap as this like 4-eye technique in the B gap. He's responsible for the B gap, and if you notice, like, he starts to kind of creep a little bit into the C gap, but because he's one at the point of attack and gain control of the block, he almost just baits Dobbins into attacking this B gap. Like, you'll see Dobbins kind of come straight downhill, and that's when he kind of crosses Slater's face and shows color in that B gap, which gets Dobbins to cut back late. So he ends up running into Slater, and then Christian Wilkins on the other end ends up winning on his side and ended up making the tackle from the backside. So a situation where Butler makes the play without making the play. See a similar rep here against Zion Johnson. Again, I think there's another zone run here. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, a little inside zone, and just wins. Not great pad level, but if you watch this inside hand, like, just perfectly placed on Johnson's chest, gets the extension and locks him out. And then on top of it, get a pretty good rep here from Jenkins to plug up these gaps in the middle, and then another good rep from Wilkins, who was a beast this game, to just kind of force Dobbins to bounce it, and then Snowden gets to reap the benefits and just make that tackle right at the line of scrimmage. I think pretty much going to be the same thing here, almost the same exact clip. I think this was a short yardage situation in this game, just the way that Atlanta was blocking it. I don't remember the situation off the top of my head. But you can see like the same kind of thing, just win at the point of attack. And this time he's actually plugging up two gaps here because he's kind of closing the gap with the man. Like, obviously there's no room to run to that A gap. And then he's able to be in the B gap and hold his responsibility. Does a decent job here of getting off the block and then getting involved in the tackle right at the line of scrimmage. Get that run stop. Now, this is kind of what you would expect from someone that's a pass rush specialist. This time he's going to use a little pass rush move, use a nice little swim move to catch Johnson leaning. But what I really like about this too, and again, this kind of ties to his pass rush skills, is you can see the bend as a run defender. Like right here, he's going to clear the offensive lineman, clear Johnson, and then come flat down the line. And that's how you can make those tackles from that backside.
Yeah.
End up getting there for what? 1-2 yard gain. That's perfect.
That's a nice move right there. He caught him leaning.
This one's gonna be just as good. Doesn't make the tackle on this one, but basically the same rep. Just the front sides has a little more trouble on this one. But again, same thing. Just catches him leaning. Does get a little bit of help here. It looks like the center steps on this guard's foot, but still same kind of thing. Like, just use that swim move, and then win around the edge and bend it flat. On top of it too, like, he started using his quickness and his movement skills really well as a passer, or as a run defender. And also, like, his get off on a few of these clips, you might notice, like, as soon as the ball moves, he actually moved a little bit before the snap, but because he's moving laterally, he's able to get away with it and just times up the snap perfectly. Ends up beating Bozeman. And what I also like about this too is like his ability to fight back against pressure and redirect. Like, you'll see, he's like, obviously his momentum's going this way, but the zone run is going the opposite direction.
Yeah.
But he's able to sink his hips. Nice wide base here helps. and then again take away that front side gap from Dobbins, get Dobbins to cut back, and then into the teeth of the defense. Another
Here
rep
comes
where
Max.
Yeah, here comes Max. Is he unblocked on this one? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Might want to count for that
Max.
guy.
You went playing the cutback. I see you, Max. I see you.
Similar on this one. Again, just using his get off. This one gets a little bit too far up the field. But what I like about this, he's on the backside here of this this power run. It's like you're going to see him use like a rip move right here. Like you see his hand in there. And he uses Bozeman's Bozeman to help him kind of bend and turn this corner. And then when the front side does their jobs, nice job by Robinson as our force player in our run fit, forcing this running back inside so that Butler can go clean it up and he can get the glory on this rep. Let's see which one we got here. Oh yeah, this one's gonna be in a little outside zone call. It's gonna be lined up at the nose. I can't remember if that's Dolman. I can't remember if he played and if he was healthy by this game, but if it is, that's one of the better centers or better run blocking centers in the league, and it's a great rep by Butler. Again, just running his feet and avoiding getting reached. Now he does miss the tackle in this one, but this is a missed tackle I'm okay with. One, because he still has Dolman attached to him. Now you can say do a better job of getting some more extension and getting off the block, but that's a lot harder to do when you're moving laterally like this. And at the very least, we're slowing up the running back and then letting Spillane come clean it up. And Paul Miles out there too if he needed it. Looked like Hobbs beat Pitts here too. So again, this is a missed tackle I'll live with. And pretty damn good rep to beat the reach block.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he did good enough on that to make sure he made the play on that play. So, just
exactly.
You know,
I mean, it's outside zone, and he's playing nose and has a chance to make the tackle.
Exactly,
I'm going to see that often. All right. Getting into the pass rush clips again. This is where I think he makes his money as a pass rusher. I actually think this might be a natural line game where I think Crosby freelances a little bit and goes inside. But what I like about it is Butler picks up on it and then starts working outside. Again, see a little bit of the bend and beats Johnson here around the edge with using Crosby to his advantage. Ends up getting the quarterback hit. They end up catching it anyway. This game, the passing game, just pissed me off for the guy who loves D-line play because it was. We'll see more clips of this that are even worse.
Yeah.
But as soon as Herbert felt pressure, check down.
Yeah.
Guy was damn good at hitting those. And they get the first.
I know. Yeah, Mr. Herbert.
This one, he's going to repay the favor for Crosby. Now, this rep looks kind of ugly because you'll see him start to work this little swim move and he gets kind of caught in the air in an awkward position. But what I like about this is because it's a line game where this time he's the pick player, he's still going to attack the guard. He's still going to work the pass rush move on the guard, but he's going to stay on the inside shoulder of the tackle. And what that does is that keeps the guard's attention, right? Like he works this move, which is probably, if we had him in here, he's probably saying this is more of a dummy move.
Yeah.
Where I just want to get this guy's attention because that lets Crosby just kind of loop in free. And again, because he's attacking the inside shoulder of the tackle here, he's able to occupy two offensive linemen and then get a QB hit on Herbert for him to check it down.
Freakish! This is the most freakish check down I've ever seen in my life.
It gets, trust me, it gets worse. There'll be ones where you just want to pull your freaking hair out, dude. It was frustrating. This time helps. I think this might have been Walu's first sack here. Little DT twist. Again, same kind of thing. Like he's going to attack the center and then kind of work wide after contact, and he's going to be able to pull the center with him. Now, do you think if you can see his hand right there, might get away with a little defensive holding, but only defensive holding if they call it. And I mean, these guys that are good at stunts and good at being the pick player, that's what they're good at. Is finding ways to get away with that. And Walu comes free and gets the sack. Same with Chason. This time he's going to reap the benefits. It's also a jailbreak up front.
Yeah. Good Lord.
But again, same kind of thing. Like takes the guard with him. This time the Walu gets held, and that's part of the reason why he doesn't get clean and get this sack. But again, with Tyree Wilson winning, with Chason winning around the edge, and a good rep from Butler, he's able to clean it up and get the glory this time. Looper, again, this one ends ugly because the guard actually has a pretty nice rep to look for work here, but nice little stunt as a looper. Also, you're not going to see many safeties be the pick player.
Yeah, for sure.
But Merrick, nice rep by him. Also think he's getting held here too. That should have been called up around the neck.
Mm-hmm.
That's getting him back.
Holding for sure.
He's getting him back for that other one earlier. You hold me, I hold you. But yeah, again, doesn't end well because this is a good rep for the guard. But as far as the line game and stuff like that, that's a pretty good rep.
It's so funny the Raiders got Kirk Cousins bench for the rest of his career.
I know, dude. It was ugly. I mean, that one he checked down on 3rd and long. But yeah, this is the one where I was really like, you got to be kidding me against the Chargers, because this is a dirty spin move where he wins almost immediately and doesn't even. I don't even know if you count this as a pressure.
Yeah.
The clean.
I mean, no, that's not a pressure. I mean, I would say maybe it's a hurry.
Yeah, I guess you could say it's a hurry. It does speed up Herbert's process, but yeah, this is the frustrating ones where you're just like, what do you got to do to get a sack in this game? Because that is a elite rep right there.
Yeah.
Nice spin move. Also, love the ice pick on this. He almost breaks his hand on Johnson's helmet here, but like you can see, like you hear me talk about these spin moves. That elbow, boom, and ends up smacking him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Lucky he didn't break his hand.
Yeah, maybe if he didn't trip, I mean, maybe he gets the sack there.
Maybe. Yeah, he tripped a little bit on Johnson's feet. Oh yeah, Johnson trips him a little bit. Johnson went with the yo shit technique.
Oh shit! Let me stick a foot out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be another spin move. Is this one I'm thinking of? Yeah, again, same kind of thing. And you can see him time up the snap. Maybe jumped on, maybe got in the neutral zone on this one, but either way, pretty damn good get off. Again, and with that spin move again. Unfortunately, Wilkins also wins and bumps into him, and then again, Herbert just check it down.
Yeah, 5-yard pass right there. Yeah. Jim Harbaugh loves that. He loves that about it.
If you're noticing the trend here, again, nice little bull rush to swim move to get a win from Butler. And what do you know? Back foot hits the ground. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the soft zone. So, yeah. But as far as Butler goes, I mean, this is a great move. Sell the bull rush.
Mm-hmm.
Went outside with that little arm over.
Good Lord.
And then again, there's not much Johnson. Yeah, this was a rough one from the Chargers interior 3 across the board, to be honest, but especially for Johnson. Bull rush here. I think he gets a piece of this ball because it kind of dies on Cousins, but I'm also not 100% confident it's not just because of Cousins' arm strength. But either way, nice little bull rush here to get in the quarterback's lap and prevent Cousins from finishing and following through on the throw. And then again, ball dies on Cousins. And Robert Spillane steps in the passing lane, makes a nice play, but pressure from Butler is the catalyst here to make this all happen. Solid job whipping it power. He thinks he got a piece, very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
I got that.
That.
Put that on the stat sheet.
It's either that or cash money. It's either way.
Either way, yeah. He knew he was getting that contract extension at that moment. Same kind of clip here. I think just the other side. Again, not as clean of a bull rush here, but we're at the very least we're collapsing the pocket, getting in the quarterback's lap and preventing Cousins from getting a clean throw off. And I think he might get a piece of this one because the ball trajectory kind of died again. Maybe it's Cousins' arm, but
yeah,
ball kind of dies a little bit. He didn't sell it on this one, so I'm gonna go ahead and say he didn't.
I mean, I hope that was hit. That's what I would say for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
I hope.
Well, I think this might be the last one. No. Yeah, this is the last one. I mean, this one obviously the pass rush reps, nothing to speak of here. Looks like they're trying to run a little DT twist. Ball, unsurprisingly, the ball's just out very quickly, or quicker than the pass rush can hit home. What I love is just the effort. He made a few plays like this. I think he had another play, and I think it might have been in the Falcons game that was basically the same thing as this, where he just effort and go make the tackle downfield. Yeah, love to see this from your defensive tackle. I think this is only like a few yard gain. So
Pete Carroll saw that play, and he put him. That's why he got the contract.
Yeah, that gave him a little extra guaranteed money, another guaranteed $1 million. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I mean, That's what I'm saying. I think the defensive line is still going to be really strong. You saw some of those rushes with Moreg. I think that's going to be replaced with Jeremy Chin. Jeremy Chin's going to be a little bit more physical. I heard he was having a good OTAs. I guess he's the one that picked off Geno Smith all the time. So obviously Smith knows the system. He knows it already. He's ready. Chin, I mean, he's obviously he's ready to go, and he knows the system. But watching Adam Butler, man. I mean, if he could play against the run, and he's the type of DT that Pete Carroll loves. I mean, just a size 6'4", 300. I mean, Pete Carroll probably would have drafted him if he was went to USC or something. So but like I'm saying, he has that ability to rush the passer and see that improvement against the run. I mean, that's why you saw him play a whole lot more last year. And I mean, it's really important because then you get Malcolm Kuntz back, Reno Wilson's coming back, get to see what some of these guys can do as a group, and hopefully Wilkins comes back too, because I think just watching that film, I mean, a healthy Wilkins makes a big difference. So
there were a few plays where I was just like, I'm like, man, I missed that guy. I forgot how damn good he was.
For real, man. I was watching that too. I was like, wow. Yeah, man, that defensive line that first game was pretty serious. I mean, it didn't have Gardner Minshew at quarterback. Who knows how that season would have went if those guys stayed healthy. So, yeah.
Especially if Kuntz can pick up where he left off, man. Like that's again, get a healthy Wilkins. Like that's a nasty D line. That's a top 10 D line in the league for sure.
For sure, man. All right, let's get some Brock Bowers lined up outside. This is what I'm talking about. Like sometimes, like he can have a better release here, so just get physical right away. Like try to win across the line. And I know Joey Porter is getting physical with him, but this is what happens with the tight end too here. Boom, get in there, get that position, right? Get that push off there. And there you go, bam, right there. So let's watch it again. Right there, boom, nice catch.
Nice physical route.
Boom. It's a nice little rep there, man. And like I said, maybe we could talk about the release, but I mean, he is a tight end, so this is exactly what you want from a tight end. Is a good throw from Aiden O'Connell here. He's able to kind of just box him out, keep Joey Porter behind him. Makes a nice little play there. All right, next one here. So this is one of my favorite routes by Brock Bowers. So, like I say, lined up outside here, right? I mean, they're in a bunch here, right? So there's a bunch at the bottom here, right? And he's going to be running basically a whip route here. So, come inside. And this is where you see him, the ability that he's just not a tight end, because not every tight end can run this route, right? I mean, there's not a lot of tight ends in the NFL that can run this route. Let's keep it real. And not like that, where a guy's falling. You know what I mean?
Not many tight ends can run the whip route. Not many tight ends can run a whip route and put the corner on his ass.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And they get 25 here after the catch here. So you see it one more time here. I mean, this is just a great route here. Boom, go right there, sell it. It's a good job. Change the direction, skills there. And he just worked them. Perfect. And Minshew still almost missed that throw. He did. He almost missed it. All right. Next one here. So this one just kind of showing him a little bit in zone. How he handles zones, his basic sticks, right? I mean, you get the flat, then you get the little hitch inside, and it's just showing how he is in zone. Just able to kind of just find the zone quickly, right? Avoid the corner right there. Get some space there. Get some little yak there. Get a first down, right? I mean, this is 2nd and 9 here. So you get a good 11 yards on this one. Boom, catch the ball. And, he does kind of start running before he catches here. I mean, that's sometimes where those drops come up with him. But you can kind of see, just kind of, he's running before he catches the football. But it worked out right there, but it made the play. It worked out. So, yeah, I mean, simple stuff on that one. So here's another one right here of him making yak. So, I mean, he's lined up outside the bunch once again, right? So he's the outside man here, right? You're not going to see a lot of him outside the numbers. I really don't expect that with Chip Kelly too much either, but, we'll get into some of those in a little bit here, but you see that. And so I'm talking about kind of just, finding the space, slowing down, right?
Yeah.
Not just going full speed, understanding where you got to be here. Especially, it looks like this is what, look, they're playing some cover 2 here. I mean, this guy.
I think it's a match 3. I think that might just be a bust because they got 2 guys in the same area.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening here.
I think it's supposed to be match 3 or something like that.
Yeah, no coverage breakdown on that one. So, but right here, like I said, get him the ball in space. There's a good job of coming under control here. Understanding that where he's at on the field, where the other players are, he's able to get upfield really quick here. Get about 17 there, I believe, maybe even 20 or something. But this just shows the yak ability that he has, right? I mean, the ability to kind of just be able to take a little 5-yard pass, turn it into 17, turn it into 11, first down.
Yeah, it's a bust because you can see Tyrann Mathieu chewing out Kool-Aid after the play.
That's funny. All right, next one here. So on this one, what I like, I pointed this out on Twitter, and it's very subtle. But you kind of see the stem he takes, right? Because, I mean, he doesn't give Marlon Humphrey much up at the top here. I mean, he's going one-on-one against one of the better corners in football, right? And what I like is the stem. So you can kind of see that he's attacking his outside shoulder here, right? And that's where he's basically kind of selling a fade route, in my opinion, a little bit here, because it keeps Humphrey from, kind of closing off the inside or getting square. Because right now, Humphrey's not square right now. And, it kind of allows him to open up and opens up the inside here, because maybe he's expecting maybe he's going to start running with them or something. I'm not 100% sure there, but this is just a great catch here.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Matt.
I was going to say, you touched on it. It keeps the window wide. It keeps Humphrey on the numbers, and then it keeps that throwing window open with especially with Roquan Smith sitting in the middle of the field.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe you can make the case that maybe he can, like I said, will he become more nuanced as a route runner, and maybe give him more, but you can still see the ability from a tight end, because you can't. I guess I can't expect him to be Jacoby Myers or something. So, but you still see the ability to kind of get upfield and then make a great catch in traffic right there. It's a great catch. This is the day when Raiders fans are like, "Oh man, this guy is the truth." And the game that Gardner Minshew fooled us all. That's a great catch right there. Look at that. Perfect catch right there. Great throw. Nice play. So here he is one-on-one against Trent McDuffie. And this one's, he's definitely outside the numbers here. Now, this one's about just giving it a little bit more on the release. Like, maybe kind of get, McDuffie to maybe open up the gate a little bit this way so they can, stem outside. But, McDuffie's a great corner, right? So he's not going to bite on too much anyways. But I like how he's able to get physical with them, and he still has some good separation here. For how big he is compared to McDuffie, he's open, right? And Gardner Minshew does a good job of throwing it back shoulder. Even though, I think it could have been a better back shoulder throw where it's like he doesn't have to fully stop, and he can kind of catch it back shoulder and get some more yards here. But you can still see him able to jump up, catch that ball in traffic, all hands there, just body McDuffie basically.
Yeah. Thought you said these weren't going to be good contested catches.
I mean, we'll see later. We'll get there, man. We'll get there.
All right. I'll be patient.
All right, but yeah, I mean, full extension here. That's him showing his ability. It's a great catch right there. All right, so even on this one, I mean, he's not going to catch this football, but I still think this is a good route here because this kind of shows. I mean, this is later on in the season a little bit. And this is what I'm talking about. Him getting better is going to happen because I really like this release because what he does here is he gets this guy just to commit enough, right? And it's just, like I said, a lot of these things with NFL, you're watching college football so much lately. I mean, these guys get worked so much, but you see these NFL guys are going to stay square. They're just better coach players. And he did a good job because he's able to get back inside where he wants to by, allowing that guy, making him just a little bit slightly move to the sideline a little bit right there, right? But Aiden O'Connell threw his ball way too early. But as you can see, the separation that he's creating right there, he's open if that's a good throw.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
that
go ahead. Oh, man.
That to me is two guys who haven't just had enough reps together.
Yeah. Just a little bit backside. It's like right there. Boom. Nothing. All right. So here's another rep. Now this one against another corner. Basically running a dig here. And what I like about this one too is, like I said, I kind of threw this ball really early again, which is fine. You want to get rid of this football as quickly as you can. But I believe, like, if he had more time, because anticipating with dig routes, it's necessary at certain spots, but when it's like man to man here, I think you can wait a little bit on some of these routes. I know he's getting blitzed here, and even though there's really nobody around him. But if you kind of step up and allow him to separate more here, I think Bowers is about to separate a little bit better, because it's kind of the same thing he did with against Humphrey, which is attacking the outside shoulder here. He's attacking the shoulder.
Yeah.
And then he comes right back inside. But that ball is already there, right? But this time he just catches it with one hand. Like it was nothing. You see it better from this angle here. It's pure one hand catch right there. It's just like it's nothing.
Sick.
It's just
Ag.
That's nasty right there, dog. All right, and now this one just gets pure zone. But what I like about this one is kind of the same thing, kind of the same outside stem, right? So it holds this corner. They're playing cover 2, I believe, here, or cover 6. So he does a good job of maintaining this corner on the outside, right? So, if there is an adjustment, he doesn't go with them. And then, does a good job of kind of just breaking off at the right depth here. Connell's able to hit him right there. So like I said, it's not too much outside the numbers, really.
Yeah.
But it took O'Connell a couple weeks, but he finally got it down. Like I shouldn't throw it. Let me let him work it out a little bit there.
Ball had a little heat on it too.
Yeah, man. This was his trial, bro. He's trying to prevent from trading for Geno Smith, I guess. I'm the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So this is another good rep. Ignore the throw, but I really like this route too, because he does a good job of getting leverage inside here on this route. And maybe you can make the case that he should be going outside here. But even where Ritter throws his ball, if he threw a better pass, where it's catchable, Bowers is in the position to make this play. So you see the little release there, kind of, give him a little jab step on the release there, right? Boom. And get inside there. And then he's able to kind of get inside, create some separation. Now, it's a little weird here. I don't know if he was not expecting this ball to come to him. I don't know. But it's just like he just didn't give him a catchable pass here.
Yeah.
But he's in good position. Like, with the accurate throw here, like this is the type of throw where you want to underthrow him a little bit when he has his position, because he's going to box this guy out, jump up, make that catch. But that's against Richie Grant, I believe. No, I don't know. 27 might be Richie Grant because it's man to man. Yeah. But that's why Desmond Ridder only played one game there. Watch this bad. Just remind me how bad this quarterback plays, man. Good Lord, it was bad.
Yeah.
God, awful. All right, here we go. Next one here. Now, kind of the same kind of concept here on this one, where he's kind of selling it there, but just want to talk about a little bit of the contested catches here. Now, he gets that separation, but you definitely, sometimes you want to be able to make this catch, right? When you want to be considered one of the best tight ends in the NFL, and I'm nitpicking here exactly, but Minshew probably could have threw this ball to Madison or Tucker, but it's fine. You know, but I mean, Tucker's, you know, I don't know if he scores, but you know, you're right here. But as you can see, as he you know, kind of makes his break inside here, right? I mean, the corner kind of gets his hands on him a little bit too. It's a little bit, you know, you can make the case it could be a little bit pass interference, but you know, you'll see it in the back end. This ball kind of hits him in the hands. You know, you want to make it that tough catch, especially when it's third down. Of course, I didn't get the backside, but
yeah. I feel like he drifts a little bit too, which kind of invites that corner back inside. Like I noticed that on one of the other digs you showed earlier too. He might drift just a titch.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, dude. All right, so another rep outside. This one gets Certain. And this is what I'm talking about. Like when you play against a corner like this, you got to give him more than just, you know, just a route like that, right? I mean, that's not gonna work.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you know, Devontae Adams is like doing 8 rocker steps to beat Patrick Surtain, and this just isn't gonna work, right? But what's gonna happen next year is these guys are gonna be on him. Patrick Surtain guarded him the whole game the second time.
Yeah.
And you know, and this one, you know, I'm not gonna get on it too much for contested catches because we're gonna see in the back end how just a great of a play this is by Patrick Surtain. This is just a crazy play. But this is what I'm talking about, like just giving him more at the top of this route. And I know he gets pushed a little bit, but you got to give him something. You got to give him like a rocker step, something. I know Aiden O'Connell's throwing this ball way too early again. Right? He's trying to show off his anticipation skills. We get it. You can anticipate, Aiden. But like, you know, give him a little rocker step here, something. And that ball came in hot, man. But I'm gonna show you what happened here on the back end of this one here. Just look at that, bro. Perfectly timed. That is that's the defensive player of the year right there, man. Perfectly, boom. Perfectly timed. Knock the ball to yourself.
He get the pick too. Yep.
Yeah. Nuts.
Yeah, that's how old play. I mean, things Browers can do better, but that's a tip your cap type of rep.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, because it's not like Bowers didn't catch it. This dude just perfectly timed it through his hands.
Yeah. Damn.
Nuts. All right. And here's against Certain again. And, you know, this one's a little different. I mean, not really too much you can do on this one. But you kind of can see just Certain just navigates that mesh perfectly. Right? And then you kind of see how he just navigates that mesh. He just avoids it. Stay there. Of course, it's not a good throw, but, you know, he's just all over him there.
Yeah, it's a forced throw.
Yeah. Goddamn Carter Mitch, you guys. Let's throw like there's nobody around you, bro.
Fuck it, Bowers is open.
All right, so that was Brock Bowers, kind of a little bit of his game, playing from the outside, just kind of looking at specifically. So yeah, you know, you know, like I said, I'm nitpicking a lot, but I still think there is something he can get better at, so he could be able to beat those top corners consistently, because those guys are going to be on him this year. It's not going to be, you know, I know T wasn't shocking teams last year being the best receiver on the team, but you're going to see that a lot more often where, you know, let's have Jacoby Myers beat us, or, you know, let's do this and make sure that Brock Bowers, you know, let's take him out of the game no matter how, you know, what we like to do, especially if the Raiders go more 12 personnel, more power. Yeah, you're going to see it. You'll be seeing a lot of that. So, I mean, that's just a couple things, little nuances he can get better at winning outside. But, you know, it's going to be a lot of free releases in the slot, too, so as well. So,
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Again, I think we touched on it to at the beginning, and you just talked about it, too. Like, when you're a player of Powers caliber, can't talk right now, like, you're going to get nitpicked, and, like, you're going to get every team's best corner. Like, you're not a secret anymore. You know, who they got week one? Week one's I'm drawing a blank. Do you remember who's the season opener against?
Patriots.
Oh, the Patriots. That's right. I mean, Christian Gonzalez is going to be on him. You can almost guarantee that. So he's going to draw the best team's corner because that's how he was last year, and he's again one of already better players at his position. So going to have to figure out how to beat those guys. And I think you're right. Like just adding a little bit more at the top of the routes, whether it's a head fake, rocker step, jab step, something like that, to just to get those guys on their heels a little bit, I think will do them a lot of good, because players like Pat Surtain aren't gonna are gonna stick to you like glue if you don't give them anything to at least think about at the top of the route. So
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, I agree, dude. All right, so that's the show for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Of course, we're gonna keep doing these, and we have another one for you on Sunday, and then we're doing a Friday Night Live. We'll actually be back this week. I know we had the schedule release, and then we skipped this week, but we'll be back this week. So look out for Friday Night Live. Like I said, look at some of the member videos we got. Start doing some more of those too, and probably do a JJ. I don't even try to say his last name here. So I'm gonna do a JJ this week. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, that's it. Any last thoughts, Matt, before we get out of here?
Not much, man. I mean, we're hitting into the summer. We're hitting into the dog days here. Might take some little bit of time away for a second, but yeah, gonna be looking forward to it. Getting into some of the existing players and seeing how the Raiders can continue to get better this season. So
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. We are out of here. Peace.